All right, this week was a very eventful week. There was a lot of news events, a lot of high impact news, and this week is going to be picking off on the same tone. Let's see, do we have anything coming up on Monday? Monday, high impact news for GBP, look at daily FX. We also have full year GDP for Germany, so high impact news during London, Monday open. See later during New York session, doesn't look like there is too much news. Yeah, that's primarily it. Tuesday, high impact news for Canadian dollar and USD. And then we have Bank of England Governor Bailey speaking later that morning. So Tuesday, New York session is going to be pretty eventful. There'll be lots of volume. And yeah, you can see core inflation rates for Canadian dollar. We have a Fed member speaking during New York session, as well as the Bank of England Governor Bailey speaking as well. We have GDP for China during Asia session on Wednesday. Tuesday evening for myself, but Wednesday for everyone that lives internationally. Core inflation rates for GBP pre-London open, Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning. Unemployment change for Australian dollar later that night during Asia Open, Wednesday evening for myself. The Swiss National Bank Chairman Jordan speaking 2 hours in the London Open. We have USD unemployment claims later that morning during New York session, and then we have ECB President Lagarde speaking as well, all Thursday morning, pre-New York as well as New York Open. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is going to have a lot of volatility. Then to end the week, we have President Lagarde speaking again, core retail sales for CAD, and preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment for the US dollar. And as you can see, monetary policy for European Central Bank on Thursday. Then, yeah, President Lagarde speaking, and high impact news for USD on Friday. All right, that's really it. There's going to be a lot of volatility, though, Tuesday through Thursday. Now let's start with gold. Gold has lined up with the previous weekly analysis. You can see that we hit a target of 2013.2. Not quite 2010, but we did breach the 2020 level, especially from the market open. That was nearly $330 move, 300 pips. And now let's adjust this. This is our new previous week's low. This is our new previous week's high, this area here. I'm going to change this to blue just because it's a little more clear. Or at least to me, it's a little more clear. Previous week's high. It looks like this area of demand has been holding pretty strongly. Lots of rejections here, and you can see this type of lower time frame structure break, intraday structure break, in order to get that bullish move back to where it ended and closed last week, where it hit 2060, 2050 price range. That's much better. All right. If we go to the daily time frame, you can see that we closed with a strong bullish candle. Yeah, it looks like we may continue and come up to this area of supply right here. Yeah, that was the end of the month for December right at this point. Yeah, it looks like we may drive up to 2090 again if we break above this 2065 point, if we break above the previous week's high. With enough volume, it looks like it's just going to further extend up to the 2080, 2090 price range. If we fail to break above the previous week's high and we just kind of reject and show a lower high point, multiple wick rejections, we may see the previous week's low and possibly even the 2000 price range. But that is still to be determined. It looks like we're in the middle of attempting to push higher and break above the previous week's high. So if this little area holds, it looks like Monday, Sunday open may just continue just to push up to this point. Could be a quick 60 to 100 pip move at the start of the week. From there, we'll need to see what happens. It could go either way. If we go to the weekly time frame on the right, just see an indecision candle. It does look like possibly a higher low, but yeah, we still need more information. Let's go to the monthly. Monthly, you can just see wick rejection. If the candle flips bullish, if it breaks above 2063, which is the previous week's high, then most likely it's going to continue higher. All right, overall, start the week bullish on gold. From there, we could reject or possibly continue. It's looking like we're going to continue though, so I would say overall, potentially bullish on gold if we break the previous week's high. I'm going to draw a zone real quick here. It's the first stop. May see a reaction from this point. It could be a good first take profit as well if we break above this area. All right, let's move to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ had a wild week. Last week, it had swept liquidity here and then ultimately just continued higher throughout the new trading week. You can see that the previous week's low held on Sunday open and then strong bullish candle, very, very strong bullish candles just to fill in all that space that was created here from the previous trading week. So let's move this. This is actually the previous week's high. Yeah, exactly. That's how I've been feeling. I'm like, oh my God, I've literally been missing the NASDAQ, and I'm in the section of the Securities Exchange book where it's talking, Securities Industry Essentials book where it's talking about indices, and it brings up, it called the Dow Jones Industrial Average US 30, but I was like, they're talking about US 30 right now, and then they showed, you know, S&P and NASDAQ. I'm like, what am I doing looking at Forex? Honestly, the NASDAQ is the way to go. Just, now it's just, the way the indices move, I just get it better. You know, and they provide, there's a lot of liquidity in those assets, so it's just a lot easier to get in and out of trades and quickly catch some points. That's exactly how it is. So yeah, we made the all-time high just a few weeks ago. We have this previous week's high in this area of supply. We're at this fair value gap as well. Let's delete that. We had our initial reaction from this zone, as you see this pullback, and then ultimately broke through. That would have been a good scalp trade to get in for a sell, just temporarily, but could have taken buys right after that and continue riding the trend higher. So we have this major higher low point where the trend faked everyone out, made it seem like structure was broken, and then continued, but it's real choppy right here. Let's see. We go to the weekly on the right side. Yeah, you can see a strong bullish candle. Did not close above the previous week's high. It did sweep it though, but did not break above or close above. Okay. It does look like we may try and break the all-time high once more. It really depends though. You know, there's a lot of indecision right here. There is a lot of indecision right here. It's a little hard to say where the market wants to go right now, but I do think it does want to go up and then possibly down. But either way, a big liquidity move is going to happen in order to shake some of these traders out who are already in this tight range. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the daily on the right. Yeah, it does look like we may continue making new all-time high, especially with the volume that it's going. You know, you should go with the trend in this case. Yeah, we could even extend further. You know, the trend hasn't been invalidated yet. You see that higher low point. You know, if we get that volume, yeah, we really could extend all the way up there to new territory if price is in discovery mode, essentially, since we've never been up this high. It's just may continue trending for a bit longer. Yeah, we could extend all the way up there. There would be a lot of people going short. But ultimately, yeah, first stop would be the all-time high again. If we break above there, we could possibly see 175 and possibly even extend to 1.8. I think a lot of people are thinking 1.8 though, but you know, in times like these, it just keeps going until it doesn't anymore. So, would not bet against this for the time being. Does look like it may want to continue, especially on this monthly time frame. Just see rejection. Yeah, just massive wick. If it flips bullish, right at this 1685 with 1690, the previous week's high, may just continue trending. And then let's see if we have a similar month, similar size candle as last month. Yeah, we're looking at 175, 177 area for now, which 175 is a good bet. But yeah, we really could just end the month right up here. It looks clear as day, especially if we're already at this point. We break above here. There's just really what would stop it, essentially. It's a little overbought on the RSI, it's stochastic RSI, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Especially if it's on the intraday showing not extremely oversold, but it's not in balance either. It's not in equilibrium, which means most likely may push higher. And there's some type of divergence here. You can see that it's really high on the stochastic RSI, but price is not as high as it is over here, even though this is indicating that it's lower than over here. This is a hidden divergence. Ultimately, it does look like we're gonna push. Yeah, this could be a really good, very good setup to get into, very good trade to get into. Just look for the right moment. But really, if price wants to continue based off of how Friday was already projected to go, it could just be as simple as setting a wide stop, low risk initially, one position, and then if we breach above this previous week's high, you can start adding positions and just see if you can tighten that risk up and maybe get lucky on the first attempt and it just push. But doing that, you could possibly get stopped out first if some type of liquidity move needs to happen in that little range. But ultimately, this is a pretty clean setup. Just it looks pretty easy. All right, we're gonna go over CAD JPY next. I'm gonna avoid GU this upcoming week. Yeah, it just wasn't the best for me personally, and I'm better with CAD JPY anyways. When we look at this pair on Friday, we gotta move up to an 0.85, which is this daily candle here. Yep, looking pretty bearish overall. If we go to the monthly time frame, look at that massive rejection on this monthly candle. Literally looks like a break, retest, and then continuation on a higher time frame, which just takes longer to play out, but it literally looks clear as day. We have this area of supply here. This was a previous area of supply that we respected. We have the current area right here that's marked off from the Thursday price action. We see this break right here. We might just pull back to 108.4, 108.5, and then continue trending lower. Let's see, at the open, it looks like we may open lower just based on where price is at. Doesn't look like it really hit anything, so may need to continue pushing. Could see a little retest as such, and then a drive down 107.2 to possibly 107. That'd be a very clean trade setup. Yeah, very, very clean. It doesn't really look like it's on anything. I mean, in theory, it could push up from here, but it doesn't really look like it's on anything solid. So most likely we'll extend lower, hit that area of demand, see a good size retracement for people getting in a little late, getting a little early for the sells, and then late for this move because it'll be starting up here, but early in the sense for the overall move. But yeah, may have a nice entry point right up here. An intraday level of supply, could even hit. So this would be your extreme, really good price. This would be your medium price, which most likely, I believe this is where it's going to stop at. But you never know, could extend a little further to right here. Yeah, overall, that's a pretty good, clean setup. I most likely will be taking just with the risk to reward tool. Target a new low, 107.2. This is a 3-hour trade. And that's just with a wide stop loss of 35 pips. So, you know, obviously if you get in a lower time frame and really get really accurate entry, you can tighten that up a lot. But overall, really good trade setup. Definitely be watching this. All right, next I'm going to pull up XRP real quick. And actually even Bitcoin, since the ETFs were launched this week. Just major rejection like right before the 50K point. We didn't quite hit 50,000, so I feel like it's still going to drive up to that point. Let's remove this. I'm just going to make this into a zone, just because it's easier to see. Ultimately, if we could stay in this area, it may push higher up to the 50K point, but we could see lots of heavy selling pressure just on the initial, which, you know, it's expected by the rumor sell the news, and, you know, the news came out that the ETF was approved, so it's only natural for Bitcoin to go down. We have a lot of people shorting. A lot of people now have access to Bitcoin to short or to buy, but a lot of people have the ability to short now. So if we see this continue lower, we could possibly see it go below 40K, but 40K, 40,000 has been a strong level here. You can see rejection, 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 rejection from this area. So we could get one drive it to 50,000, but at the same time, there could be a lot of people expecting we're going to 50,000, and it may need to go down first. You know, since last year, the last few times I've been covering this, I've been thinking that price may come down one last time before we see that really strong bullish market once again, you know, before we start seeing that once more. I'm thinking so with XRP and many of the other pairs. Yeah, 12K hasn't happened yet. You know, the one bearish year went to that 3,000 or 4,000 point, yeah, all the way down here. You know, no one's expecting that. We haven't hit 10,000. You know, I was really thinking we'd come back to this 10,000 point, but we haven't. So 12,000 is on the books. It has happened many, many times in the past, you know, and it seems kind of extreme, but it really can happen. You know, especially if this monthly time frame candle gets broken this level here at 37.5, and with how it looks now, this is how a top looks. You know, look on the left here. Back in 2021, you can see the same type of candle patterns forming at these areas. So a lot of people could be thinking we're going to 50,000. We might not reach it. And there's been a lot of articles thinking, analyst says this, hedge fund manager says this, 60K, 50K. You know, a lot of times when that stuff happens, it doesn't come through, it does the opposite from what I've seen and been on the side of as well. Been on the wrong side when seeing those articles come in, and then I get wrecked. Or have in the past gotten wrecked on things like that. Yeah, maybe in March. Yeah, but I'm thinking in spring, if it does continue, we'll see that type of price action in spring. But yeah, if we break this 37.5, there's just a clear zone to fill all the way down to 30K, 30 to 25,000. That'd at least be the first point. But as you can see, there's this, you could draw this as a fair value gap if you wanted. You know, the 20K to 15K range is also could be in play, especially if it's a strong volume. Or if it takes some time, for example. As such, you know, there's a few different things, but ultimately, if 37.5 breaks, which I'm going to put an alert at, that breaks, ultimately there's going to be a strong bearish move down to this point first, which it could be a good point to dollar cost average into if you had some extra funds you wanted to allocate. But ultimately, Bitcoin's expensive and it's not really worth getting into unless you can actually get one whole Bitcoin. But yeah, ultimately, we may see some more bearish pressure though later this year. But 50K is still on the books, especially if we can hold this 40K range. But based on how it looks, we may not, and especially since the ETF's just launched. Yep, you know how she goes. Those flash crashes and these crazy wick rejections. You're like, what in the world? Yeah, those days are coming, and it already kind of did appear. And the other day when XRP hit 50 cents in just a matter of hours, you know, those type of days are coming again. And a lot of people, you know, we haven't seen that in a little while. It's been just chilling, you know, waiting on news, waiting on the ETF approvals. But yeah, with them being approved and it being the buy the rumor, sell the news, how it like literally always is, there's a good chance stuff's just going to start selling off. We'll get it at a discount. And yeah, even look at XRP. This does not look bullish right now. You can literally see we have some more 35 cents. Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah, you can see it's clear as day right here. Below 50 cents is a steal for XRP. You know, it really is. It's already highly undervalued, in my opinion at least, and many others. But above 50 cents is a little bit on the premium side. Below 50 cents is a discount, and below, you know, below 40 cents to 30 cent price range is a steal, literally a steal. You're just picking it up for just pennies, well, dimes, obviously, picking it up for dimes, but very, very cheap compared to where it may be. Yeah, you can see something, you can see this trend line too. You know, it's clearly looking like it's just going to break through here. Boop. Could even be a good short setup, you know. Yeah, right. Yeah, there was a time where I could have gotten that low back down here. You know, got into day trading instead, but I could have bought and held. Well, even if I did hold all this time, it's still, you know, it would still be a good return on investment, but not where, you know, it could have been. You had to, you know, close at all-time high and whatnot. Honestly, it sounds crazy, but, you know, that's what you got to do to get the liquidity you need to, you know, allocate what you really need to set yourself up for a better life. Then, you know, that's what you need to do, especially if it's not overpriced. You're not buying at the peak. That'd be insane if you're doing that, but it's the other way around. And, you know, the payoff, the upside potential is huge. But yeah, ultimately, XRP is looking like it may want to correct down to the 50 cent price range again and possibly below it. You know, you just see this higher time frame trend line that most likely it's too clean. It's just way too clean. It literally looks like it may just get taken out. You can see possibly this type of setup here could start scaling in with just one low small position, and then as the price starts to unfold, you could scale in with low risk the whole time. But this would be a swing trade if you really wanted to do this, which I may. Because yeah, I don't believe this is going up right now. Like, you can just see it looks like bearish confirmation. Looks like we had that range, lower high. It was holding this point, the 60 cent, 57 point, 57 cent point, and then now we got the confirmation that's just going to start moving lower. And especially if Bitcoin sells off, you know, everything else is going to sell for the time being. Yeah, possible shorts on XRP, but ultimately going down. Yep, have a good rest of your Sunday, my friend. This will be up in about 2 hours or so, and yeah, we're gonna get after it. It's gonna be a good week. But yeah, that's really it for this week, though. Covered all the main news events, covered all the pairs that we're gonna be looking at, and yeah, that's really it. Gonna get this uploaded soon. Gonna be working on a lot of stuff. Gonna be going to the gym here shortly, and then getting this all uploaded. And then studying majority of the day to get through this Securities Industry Essentials exam. Yeah, it's been going well so far. We got 2 chapters left, and then we're taking the test. I'm excited. But all right, have a good rest of your Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, and have a good trading week. Peace.